Hello people of the universe, it is me, B, and my little buddy. Yay! As you can probably tell, I colored my hair purple the last few weeks for the start of school. I didn't make a video about it, but the next time that I do re-dye it this color, I will probably make a video about it. Or if I don't re-dye it this color, I'll make a video about whatever color I re-dye it. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like for me being an alternative kid in high school, especially in my high school. So I know for a lot of people, being an alternative kid in high school can be really difficult, especially if you look like me or you have more modifications or more tattoos or crazier hair or whatever. But being in my high school, I know it's kind of difficult, especially for me and some of my friends, for different circumstances, and especially because some of my friends have experienced different things. I just got a text message. But I know that looking a certain way can definitely allow people to judge you and judge the way that you are as a person just because of how you look. So let me start off with saying that so far in my high school experience, in my high school the majority of people are pretty normal or pretty, I guess, common. Everyone really doesn't have crazy hair or a lot of piercings, and if they do, it's really just like a stud on the nose. And a lot of them really just, and another text message, a lot of them really just, they identify with everyone really, and especially with me and my friends, we kind of only identify with each other for certain reasons, and I guess obviously because we know each other more. So I guess I'll start off with telling a little bit of the story of one of my friends. I'm not going to tell her name just for her security's sake, but when I met her, she was pretty shy and pretty awkward, to say the least. And as I got to know her better, I learned that in middle school especially, she got bullied a lot, and a lot of kids would beat her up or make fun of her or post pictures of her around the school. And no, I was not picking my nose, I was fixing my nose ring and itching my nose. Thank you very much. But to continue, yeah, she was judged a lot in middle school, and then especially in high school now, she really doesn't have that many people that she can talk to besides me and another one of our friends. And really the only reason she was treated like that and still treated like that now is or not to that extent, but that she's still kind of shied away from, no one really talks to her, is because of the way that she looks and the way that people think that she is as a person just because of how she looks, which I think is ridiculous, because I meet people all the time who look a certain way and then they're the complete opposite person. Damn it, stop texting me. But so yeah, for her it was a pretty difficult time, and obviously everyone's stories are different. Like my other friend, who I'm going to explain now, I'm not going to say her name again because of her security's sake, but in school she kind of, she started out really shy. She didn't really have a lot of friends, and we met through a class because we had a class together. She doesn't really look as alternative as me and my other friend look, but she definitely had kind of like the wardrobe, and she definitely had the mentality where she was wearing all black and really didn't talk to anyone, and was constantly listening to metal and heavy rock and stuff like that. And not many people gravitated towards her because, she was kind of like the weird kid. She was one of the weird kids. And even now, really, she doesn't have that many friends either. And again, because we look different and we act kind of different compared to everyone else who is kind of like the normal, or the norm. And, we just don't really fit in with the norm. And I think a lot of people kind of shy away from that because, normal is kind of like everyone looks the same and everyone's not different. I have a few different qualities, but I'm just as nice as the other person, or I try to be just as nice as the other person. And no one really gets to know me like that because they either don't try to know me because of the way that I look, or because the kind of music that I listen to or the kind of things that I associate myself with aren't really what they associate themselves with, so they kind of don't want to get involved, or they shy away from it. So now on to my story. In middle school, I went to a private school, so none of us really looked so much different with like hair color or piercings, because we really weren't allowed to have any. The most that I ever did to my hair was bleaching the ends of it blonde or black, and then at the way end of 8th grade, like right before my graduation, I wanted to do something kind of weird with my hair just to go out feeling like myself. And so what I did was I bleached my fringe that I had at the time. I had like fringed hair, like, yep, just I full on like almost basically emo hair, and I had full on blonde fringe. And really that was it. But even before that, I was listening to different kinds of music, and I was kind of hanging out with the people who listened to similar music, or were associated with the similar things. Like, they really liked piercings, they really liked colored hair, or they liked a certain style. And a lot of the people who I had grown up with, since I had known since I was 4, really shied away from me and my friends because we looked different, or we looked a little bit different, or we acted different, or we were interested in different things. And again, people I've known 10 years, and they were shying away from me because of something a little bit different. Shut up. And then once I got into high school, I realized that it wasn't really important to be so ashamed of who I was, or what I was into. But then at the same time, I guess it's because I also transferred from private school to public school, and in public school a lot of people are more understanding, I guess. And I had a few people who looked at me and who really weren't shocked, I guess. But still, at the time, I didn't look like this. I didn't have my nose piercing. I didn't have the crazy colored hair. I really just had brown hair and a little bit of blonde in the front, like I said, my blonde fringe. And I really was just wearing regular t-shirt and jeans. I didn't really look that different, and I had regular brown glasses. I didn't really look different. And in my new school, we had this program for freshmen that before the school year starts, they go into a summer program. It's basically like summer school, where we do activities and we go on field trips. And basically you get the feel of the school before you come in. And there was a guy in that program who I had started to date very briefly. We were like having a little summer romance thing. And his brother and his friends, when they met me for the first time, they thought that I was really weird because I was really quiet and I was wearing black clothing, and I kind of shied away from everyone because I didn't know anyone. I wasn't gonna sit with a random person that I didn't know and just say, like, introduce myself. I'm just not that kind of person to put myself forward like that. Especially because I know everyone was kind of awkward and everyone was kind of just staying with their friends. And I knew that if I just went up to someone and said, hey, my name's B, then they'd kind of be like, who's this weird chick? Why is she talking to us? I don't know. But to get the point across, as I kept going through the year and I became more confident in myself and more confident in who I was and what I was dressed like, and I actually talked to people, that girl and that guy's brother really got to know me and they really got to like me. And I am a shy person, and I don't really try to make a lot of friends in school, only because I've been there for 3 years and I know how people are. So in school I really only have 2 or 3 friends, but then I started getting more friends in the community throughout the different high schools because I was getting myself involved with different programs. Like, I'm in the theater program at a different high school, and you know, I was in the LGBT club in my school, and I got to meet a few other people in my school. But like I said, the vast majority of the people in my school, they kind of shy away from people who look like me only because I don't look like the norm, and there really isn't that big of a population in my school who like don't really mind this. They see past it, they see a person rather than someone who looks weird. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. For right now, I'm trying not to make like so many videos every single week, only because I don't really have that many followers right now. And those of you who are watching and those of you who did subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Everyone watching now, please remember to subscribe. Please like this video and comment any video ideas that you think that I should do, whether it's a piercing video or a hair video, which I probably will do eventually, or another collab video like the one that's on my channel that I did with my friend Casey. Thanks so much, guys. Bye from B and my whale. See you guys.